Next, let's deal with the scenes. Scenes are a way of saving a picture of your soundboard. The faders, what channels are on or off, what your monitors are mixed as, EQ, and many other things can be saved in each scene. Let's deal with the first button to the left of your main screen. Scene Memory. The Scene Memory key accesses a screen where you can store, recall, and edit scene memories, and make settings for the focus function and fade time function. When you push it once, this screen comes up. Here are the scenes that you have saved. The easiest way to scroll through them and select one is by using the encoder. Turn the encoder to the right to scroll down. Turn the encoder to the left to scroll back up again. When you want to recall a scene, pick one. Say we want to recall scene number 4, O Church Arise. Select it with the selector, then move the selector down using the arrow keys to recall. Push enter once. A dialog box will come up asking you to confirm this. Move the selector over to OK and push OK. When you push OK, the scene number at the top will change to number 4. The name will also change. This recalls the scene and any settings that you have saved with it. Let's say we've made some changes to scene 4, and now we want to save it. We move the selector over to Store. We make sure that scene number 4 is selected. Push the Enter key. This dialog box will come up asking you if you want to rename the scene. We do not, so we will move the selector over to Store once again and press the Enter key. It will ask you if you're sure. Once again, move the arrow key over and press Enter. You have now stored a scene. Let's go over the Copy, Paste, Clear, Cut, Insert, and Undo buttons. They are located along the top. Let's say we want to copy a scene and move it somewhere else. Move your cursor up to Copy and push Enter. A dialog box will come up confirming if you want to select this. Move it over to OK and push Enter again. It now allows you to paste the scene in some other position. I don't want to overwrite any of the previous scenes, so let's scroll down and store it in an empty slot. Go up to the top to Paste now and push the Enter key. It will ask you if you're sure. Move over to OK and press the button. You have now copied a scene. Let's say we want to clear a scene. Select the scene, go up to Clear and push Enter. It will ask you if you're sure. Go over and push Enter again. The scene is clear, and now another scene may be saved in that slot. Let's say we made a mistake and didn't want to clear that scene. Fortunately, we can undo it. The Undo button is the farthest right button, right there. Move your selector over to select it, and press Enter. A dialog box will come up and ask you if you're sure. Say yes, and the scene reappears. Now let's say we want to move this scene and insert it somewhere else to make it easier to access. Move the selector over to Cut and press Enter. Select OK. It disappears, but it is still saved in the memory. Let's go and insert it back in Scene 3. Select Scene 3. Move your selector from Cut to Insert and push the Enter key. It will ask you if you are certain. Select OK and press Enter. It is now inserted O Church Arise as scene number 3, and it has moved the list all down by 1. If you want to prevent a scene from being overwritten, move the cursor down to the Lock column. Select the scene you want to lock, push the Enter key once. Select the lock and push once again to unlock it. When a scene is locked, you may not overwrite it. There are several pages encompassed by the Scene Memory button. If you push the Scene Memory button once, the scene list comes up. Note, however, that there are several pages behind that. That means that you can push the Scene Memory button again and get to the next page. Let's try it. Push it again. This turns to Scene Focus. Scene Focus allows you to choose which parts of a scene you want to be recalled when you recall a scene. Suppose you only want all the input channels to be changed. In this case, you would take your selector for this scene and using the arrow keys, move it over to here. Press the Enter button once on the In. Note that the All focus goes out and just the In is selected. Let's say we also want to select which channels are patched out. Move it over to the Out and press the Enter button again. Now when you recall this scene, you will only change the input and output settings on that scene. Let's say we're feeling adventurous and want to push the Scene Memory button yet again. Here's the next screen. Scene Fade Time allows you to select how long it takes before the scene is fully recalled from memory. Let's say we want to change a scene very slowly so that no one notices while you do it during worship. First, move your cursor over to Fading and hit the Enter key. Fading is now activated for this scene. Move to the Set next and press the Enter key. This dialog box pops up. You may individually select which channels you want to fade in by pressing their select keys, as I do here. In this case, I want my entire scene to fade in. Move the cursor key over to Set All and press Enter. Everything will light up, indicating that all channels and all faders will gradually change to their new settings once you recall this scene. Next, set the fade time. You may choose anywhere from 0 seconds to 60 seconds. Normally you're going to want to use about 4. This means that it will take 4 seconds for the faders to move from the position they were at to the position in this scene. Move down to the OK and press Enter. You can see now that this has a time, 4 seconds. Now let's look at the last Scene Memory page. Push the Scene Memory button one more time. Scene Playback Link allows you to play an audio file when you recall the scene. Recall the scene and instantly you have music playing. To use this, move the selector over to first the play box and press Enter. It will turn green. Secondly, select the file off of your flash drive that you want to play. Use the encoder to move down. Select the song. Select how long you want it to take before you recall the scene until